Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Deborah Sandy. I'm daughter of Uncle Des Sandy. On behalf of the Yowogurra people here of the Great Southeast, we Boka. I welcome each and every one of you here to this sacred place on which we meet and gather this morning, and that we're Boka, yeah? And like the stars of the Southern Cross, which help to guide and unite us, which brought each and every one of us here to this sacred place on which we meet and gather this morning, and that we're Boka. Welcome. Thank you very much and good day.
I'd now like to invite Tricia Squires to give her address.
Thank you, and what an absolute honour to be here this morning to the official opening of the Yarning Circle here at Yeronga. So this is a tradition used by First Nations people for centuries, and what we want to do is create this Yarning Circle where we encourage people to be responsible, to be respectful and to have honest conversations between each other. And what's really important today is that we've got the 12 Trailblazers here. You've paved the way for us, so we thank you for that. We recognise and acknowledge every single one of you for what you've done for our game here in Queensland and what you've done to allow us to have this official opening today. All of you have been amazing ambassadors for our game, but also for Queensland and for Australia. So on behalf of everyone here at AFL Queensland, welcome to you.
Thank you, Trish. I'd now like to invite Katrina Heikkinen, Indigenous and Social Policy Manager, to speak with us today.
Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, Auntie, for your welcome today. I'm Katrina Heikkinen. I'm a Warramai Dunghutti woman from New South Wales, and like to pay my respects to my ancestors and all the elders and all the Trailblazers here today. I also wanted to say this Yarning Circle is very special. You know, we have some Yarning Circles around the country, but this one's totally dedicated to the Trailblazers of Queensland, which is really important and special for us. So on behalf of the AFL, I'd love to thank you all, you and your families, for your contribution to AFL footy and also to our communities and our people around the state as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kat. I'd now like to call upon Jack Barry to talk through the history and purpose of the Yarning Circle.
Thank you very much. A very special day to be part of today, so thank you very much for asking me to come along and speak. The idea started with my daughter at home. She was studying indigenous culture whilst doing a teaching degree, and around the kitchen table at dinner where we would gather and discuss our day, Miley was telling me about her learnings all about the Yarning Circle. I also thought, well, this would be a great idea. What the Yarning Circle for us and what I was learning at the time was around a place of gathering, as Trish touched on before, a place to build respectful relationships, a place to pass on cultural knowledge, storytelling, law, but above all, to encourage responsible and respectful, honest interaction between participants, building trusting relationships. But I thought, well, this is what footy clubs are all about as well. You know, we can learn from people before us. So for me, these are key themes, not only football clubs, but working environments as well. For me, it was really a no-brainer to try and put this thing forward to happen. So to see you all here today is really moving for myself, and really appreciate on behalf of everyone in the AFL that we can acknowledge you and we can share in our learnings to progress our game and from what we've learned come before us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. We're now going to acknowledge and introduce the 12 Trailblazers. Each Trailblazer will then receive a glass plaque of recognition. Peter Ware, after winning the Reg Lily White medal for the best and fairest in the Cairns Under-18 competition in 1976, Ware was seen by the Swan Districts in the Waffle and played over 130 games for Swan Districts. Lynette Dowling, receiving this gift on behalf of Frank Ivory. Frank was selected to represent the QFA in 1889 and 1890 and attained legendary status in Rockhampton after captaining several clubs and regional teams. John Terrick is a legend of the league in Capricornia, is a multiple best and fairest winner and club president as well. Desmond Hayes, three-time medalist in Mackay in 2010, 2015 and 2016. Jared Harbrow, played over 200 games at the Western Bulldogs and Gold Coast Suns. Shay Cockatoo Collins, played 160 games at Essendon and Port Adelaide. Phil Mason, along with Glenn James and fellow boundary umpire Billy Sutton, is one of 3 First Nation umpires to have umpired at AFL VFL level. Alinta McBride, receiving this gift on behalf of Billy McBride. Bill dominated the Brisbane Bay State League in the 1970s and early 1980s. Hayden Butler, receiving this gift on behalf of Rico Butler. Rico was a 3-time Williams medalist and played over 300 games in AFL Townsville. Courtney Dempsey, played 133 games at Essendon and spent time in Cairns, as well as Morningside Panthers. Jamison Billy, he can't be with us today, is a life member for his contribution and efforts towards AFL Mount Isa. And Ali Anderson. Ali is a premiership player with the Brisbane Lions and AFLW Best and Fairest winner for Season 7. We'd also like to thank Auntie Deb for her contribution today as well, and we got her a bunch of flowers here. That concludes today's opening ceremony for Yowogurra, and thank you for your time today.